of these they consider themselves and others clean. Through stupidity people desire this body which is like a festering sword disguised by garlands of flowers and clothes. It is like smearing butter on a cat's nose, which makes it think even a handful of insipid food is rich and tasty.
Assertion: there are fragrances and so forth for which one invariably feels desire. Answer: there is no thing which is a definitive cause of desire, since in the end one will become free of desire toward all things. Even flowers and so forth, which are held to be clean, become unappealing when they wither, and one sees practitioners who are free from attachment to such things. To call clean the body, toward which exalted foe destroyers have generated freedom from desire, is inappropriate. It is like the following analogy: a merchant, not recognizing his daughter, felt strong desire for her, but when he recognized her, he was free from desire. A merchant was on a long journey when his daughter was born. On the day he returned, his daughter, who had grown up, was playing with other girls in a park on the outskirts of the town. On seeing her he felt strong desire, but when he heard from someone else that she was his daughter, his desire left him.
Question: is it possible or not for a single thing to comprise all four of these undistorted features, such as impermanence and so forth? Answer: in summary, all four impermanence, uncleanness, suffering and selflessness are possible with regard to a single, contaminated thing, for whatever is a product is impermanent, because of being momentary. Whatever is impermanent is unclean because it produces aversion. Whatever is unclean is suffering because it harms. Whatever is suffering is selfless, because it is not under its own power. An ogress lived with a man, pretending to be his wife. He treated her as his wife until he realized that she made him suffer and was unpleasant, disobedient, and unreliable. Then he realized that she was not his wife but an ogress, and his desire left him when he felt afraid. Similarly, the intelligent become free from desire because they see the nature of products.
Therefore, developing aversion to cyclic existence, the uncleanness of which is exemplified by one's own body, make effort to gain the path to liberation. The summarizing stanza: this is the third chapter of the 400 on the yogic deeds, showing the means to abandon belief in cleanness. This concludes the commentary on the third chapter, showing how to abandon erroneous belief in cleanness, from Essence of Good Explanations, explanation of the 400 on the yogic deeds of Bodhisattvas.
Commentary to Chapter 3 by Geshe Sonam Rinchen. Along with ignorance, desire is the most serious cause of our problems. To overcome it completely we must gain effective knowledge of how things exist, but meanwhile we need to cultivate ways of dealing with and counteracting desire when it manifests. Whether directed toward things, experiences, or people, desire arises from an incorrect mental approach which misapprehends its object. Distortion takes place in that the attractiveness and wholesomeness of the desired object are exaggerated, and this is accompanied by grasping. Desire inevitably creates difficulties because projection based on misconception without any basis in reality takes place. By observing it in action, we can discover the self-deception and fabrication in this process. It is difficult but vital to distinguish desire and attachment from love and compassion, which are constructive emotions that we need to cultivate toward all beings, and to cultivate actively toward those with whom we have daily contact. The stronger these positive qualities become, the more ready we are to act unselfishly to alleviate others' suffering and ensure their well-being. Since love and compassion have a sound basis in reality, seeing others as they really are, they are not capricious but stable. Relationships governed by genuine concern of this kind do not constrict and are of lasting benefit.
When counteracting desire, the intention is not to provoke hatred and antipathy toward oneself or others. Indeed, for spiritual growth it is essential to see all living beings as valuable and lovable. There are many valid reasons to support the cultivation of these attitudes, such as our total dependence on others for survival. It is also important to value the body as a precious tool. However, desire of all kinds, particularly sexual desire, has a disturbing effect and prevents us from seeing things as they are. Our profound dissatisfaction with the body is revealed by our preoccupation with cleansing it, removing its natural odors, hiding its flaws, beautifying it, altering its shape and proportions and disguising signs of aging. Our unwillingness to accept that the body is unclean, which expresses itself in terms of our immediate response to any mention of that fact, shows the intensity of our attachment to and identification with the body. This makes us crave comfort and sensual pleasure and react with hostility toward anything which threatens to deprive us of these. Yet when we examine our own bodily processes and bodily excretions, it is difficult to cling to the idea of it as clean. Desire and attachment cannot be driven out by subjugating the body through asceticism. The body must be nurtured appropriately, since good health enables us to be active for others' benefit. Our efforts should be directed towards subduing the mind and bringing about changes in our attitudes. This will bring us and others happiness, for there is no doubt that people and animals experience a sense of well-being and tranquility in the presence of those who are not at the mercy of turbulent emotions but in whom the warmth of love and compassion is steady.
We respond to dependently arising phenomena that come about through contaminated actions and disturbing emotions as though they were stable and cling to them even though intellectually we are probably aware of their ephemeral nature. Nothing associated with cyclic existence is reliable. Friends become foes and foes become friends. Possessions and wealth merely stimulate our appetite for more and do not provide the lasting satisfaction we crave. Our status in society can change radically overnight, and eventually we and our most loved friends and partners will be separated like autumn leaves scattered by the wind. Since these are all in constant flux and unreliable, they fail to give us comfort and enduring happiness. They are therefore disappointing, and since, because of this, they stimulate aversion, they are referred to as unclean or unwholesome. Unless we acknowledge the unsatisfactoriness of this present situation, in which we are governed by contaminated actions and disturbing emotions and seek fulfillment in that which by nature is unstable and flawed, we will not feel any incentive to change.